Imagine, if you will, the year is 2024 and World War III has just begun. What does this look like? Our world as we know it is transformed into a global battlefield. Nations align with each other, forming alliances based on mutual interests. And the planet becomes a massive chessboard where the stakes are higher than ever before. In this hypothetical scenario, the world's superpowers find themselves once again locked in a conflict that engulfs every corner of the globe. The specter of war looms large, casting a shadow over the relative peace that has prevailed since the end of World War II. The reasons for this hypothetical war could be as diverse as they are numerous. It could be triggered by a struggle for resources, political ideologies, territorial disputes, or even a simple misunderstanding that escalates out of control. In this imagined World War III, technology plays a pivotal role. The advancements made in the last few decades could change the face of warfare as we know it. Cyberspace becomes a new front, with cyber attacks potentially crippling economies and causing chaos before a single physical shot is fired. The utilization of unmanned vehicles both in the air and on the ground could also redefine the concept of a battlefield. These machines, controlled from thousands of miles away, could potentially carry out precision strikes, minimizing the loss of human life on the side deploying them. In the hypothetical World War III, the theater of war is not limited to land, sea, and air. The outer space, once a realm of exploration and discovery, could become another battleground, with satellites and potentially even manned space stations playing strategic roles. The potential for devastation is immense. Major cities could be reduced to rubble, economies could crumble, and the loss of human life would be unimaginable. However, it's important to remember that this is purely hypothetical. The world has seen the horrors of 2 world wars and has striven to maintain peace through diplomacy and international cooperation. To understand the potential outcomes, we must first examine the military strengths and weapons of key countries. And that's exactly where we are going to take this discussion next. Stay tuned. The outcome of a war is heavily influenced by the military strength of the participating nations. Let's take a step back and consider what this military strength actually entails. It's not just about the sheer number of soldiers or the size of the arsenal. Although these aspects are crucial, they only tell part of the story. Consider the active personnel. A nation with a larger pool of active military personnel certainly has an advantage in terms of manpower. However, the training, discipline, and morale of these troops are equally, if not more, important. A well-trained and highly motivated soldier could potentially outperform several less prepared counterparts. Now let's talk about technological capabilities. In the age of drones and cyber warfare, technology has become an essential part of a nation's military strength. Advanced surveillance systems can provide critical information about the enemy's movements and strategies. Cutting-edge weaponry can tilt the balance of power. But remember, technology is a double-edged sword. As much as it can provide an advantage, it also opens up new vulnerabilities. A nation with superior cyber warfare capabilities could potentially disable an enemy's advanced systems, leveling the playing field. Strategic advantages, too, play a pivotal role in determining military strength. Geography, for instance, can offer natural defenses or provide vantage points. The presence of allies can also bolster a nation's strength, providing additional resources and strategic support. Yet, every strength can also be a weakness. A large number of active personnel requires significant resources for maintenance and can strain a nation's economy. Technological prowess can lead to over-reliance and expose vulnerabilities. Strategic advantages can change with shifting alliances and geopolitical dynamics. In the end, military strength is a complex blend of manpower, technology, strategy, and more. It's a constantly shifting landscape influenced by countless variables. And it's these variables that could ultimately determine the outcome of a hypothetical Third World War. Now that we've discussed the military strengths, let's delve into the weaponry of these nations. The weapons that a country possesses can drastically change the face of a conflict. As we venture into the third act of our hypothetical Third World War, it's time to delve into the arsenal of war. Countries around the globe have been stockpiling and refining their weaponry for decades, and the potential impacts of these weapons in a global conflict are staggering. Let's start with the most terrifying of them all: nuclear warheads. These instruments of destruction are possessed by a select few nations, and their potential to cause devastation is unparalleled. For instance, Russia, the United States, and China boast thousands of these warheads, each capable of obliterating entire cities in the blink of an eye. Then, we move on to conventional weaponry. Tanks, Fighter jets, artillery. These are the bread and butter of any modern military. Countries like the United States, Russia and China have vast numbers of these, while nations such as North Korea, Iran and Israel also boast impressive conventional arsenals. Moreover, the rise of technology has given birth to a new breed of weapons: unmanned drones. These flying robots can carry out precision strikes with minimal risk to human operators. The United States, Israel and China are leading the pack in this domain, but other nations are quickly catching up. Yet, it's not just about quantity. Quality too plays a vital role. Advances in technology have led to the creation of stealth fighters, hypersonic missiles and cyber warfare capabilities. These high-tech weapons can tip the scales in favor of the nations that possess them, adding a whole new dimension to warfare. And let's not forget about the strategic use of these weapons. The placement of military bases, the deployment of aircraft carriers, and the positioning of missile defense systems, these are all chess pieces in the grand game of war. Weapons and military strength are crucial, but there's more to war than just firepower. After all, the most important weapon in any conflict is the human mind, capable of strategy, diplomacy, and hopefully, peace. World War III in 2024, a chilling thought, isn't it? We've journeyed through hypothetical scenarios, examined the military strengths and weaknesses of various nations, and even delved into the daunting arsenal of war that could potentially shape such a conflict. The power, the technology, the strategy, all of it paints a grim picture of global devastation. But let's pivot from the grim to the hopeful. The importance of peace and diplomacy cannot be overstated. They are the shields that protect us from such horrifying prospects. They are the tools we must continue to hone, for they not only prevent wars, but also foster understanding and cooperation among nations. While it's interesting to speculate, it's crucial to remember that the ultimate goal should always be peace, not war. After all, as Albert Einstein once said, "I know not with what weapons World War III will be fought, but World War IV will be fought with sticks and stones."